Hi, one really quick thing before we get started in this video. I own one of the pictures and videos featured in this video. If you want to see anything related to those videos and pictures, I have linked to everything in the description and you should go check it out if you want to see more. Thanks! It's been a minute since we've talked about Disneyland, so let's do that. Hello! Happy Wednesday! I want to talk about 5 of my favorite Disney rides or attractions, and I want to talk about why. Here are some rules. If the attraction exists in Disneyland and Disney World, because since I've been to both of them now, which is wild, I will tell you which one I liked better. Number 5 is the test track in Epcot. It was one of the rides that when I would do research about Disney World, it was one of the rides that I was so into. You design your own car and you get to go and test all of the things that GM does before they send out their cars. It's so cool and it's cute and it's fun and it's interactive. Nathan and I made a car when we went and we decided that we were gonna focus on only the power stat. So it was very bad throughout all of the other tests except for the speed test. We beat every other car that was in our thing, in our little system. And I'll show you a picture of it. Here's a picture of our car. It's beautiful. I love him. Next on the list is gonna have to be Indiana Jones. It's the first Disney ride that I ever confidently stepped on and was ready to trust Disney. It had, when it opened, a cool effect with some ice that was gonna be falling rubble when you're trying to get out, and the statue shoots a laser from its eye and there was supposed to be stuff coming down from it. It didn't quite work out. There are lots of speculations behind why they shut the ice down. Some people say it's because the conveyor belt that was used rusted, or that just the ice would melt and it would just be like water. Indiana Jones would be higher on my list legitimately and honestly because of the immersion and stuff if it didn't break down so much. The cars aren't great, and the computers also are not the best, and it would really be beneficial for Disney and my heart to just go through everything in a facelift to the max. And I thought that's what they were doing when they did that in 2012, but we still have some issues because I think the cars are the original cars and they're over 20 years old and they just need a facelift. But it was so cool, when the ride first opened, they had a bunch of celebrity commercials. At the time, really big celebrities come and try this ride.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever been on.
It was fabulous.
And it's really cool of Disney to do that, and it's so early 90s that it's not even funny. Number 3 is gonna be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad exists in both Disneyland and Disney World, and I have thought long and hard about which one I liked better personally. On one hand, Disney World, it has been renovated it's more up to date, I guess, and it's smoother and it's beautiful and it's bigger, but the tracks are about the same. I don't think it's up to par to what Disneyland has to offer.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Number 2 is gonna have to be Expedition Everest. Now, as far as I'm aware, and this might not be 100% true, but I'll try to look it up before this video goes live. Expedition Everest in Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom is the world's most expensive roller coaster. The Yeti is huge.
He's 25 feet tall, 4 tons, about the size of a bull elephant, and very lifelike.
And it's glorious. And in its heyday and in its prime, it would swipe down to come and try and pick you up. It would be number 1 on my list if the Yeti still worked. The world's largest animatronic, the Yeti. He is now kind of in a rest mode, an alternate mode called B mode. But thanks to a programming error, the computer system, the engineering computer program that they used to build the ride, the Yeti is a little off.
The Yeti's powerful thrusts and movements had begun to cause stress fractures in the animatronic support structures due to a rumored miscalculation or error in the engineering software used for the ride's intricate and complex construction.
It'll probably get fixed. The producer, the head guy of the Yeti in Expedition Everest said it's one of his personal missions to get the Yeti working again. Because of how the Yeti is placed, thanks to the blueprints that people have seen, the Yeti, to get him out, it will require taking major parts of the mountain out, which would require Disney World to shut down one of their big e-ticket attractions for years. It's Disneyland's Matterhorn times 10, and it's beautiful, and it's so good, and that's why the Matterhorn isn't on this list. Number 1, it's the Haunted Mansion. Of course it's the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is such a good ride. The Haunted Mansion is in both Disneyland and Disney World, and I want to take you through the differences of the two. First of all, the facade. They're very different. The Haunted Mansion in Disneyland is supposed to fit into New Orleans Square, and it's supposed to be, they kind of model it after a big plantation owner style house with the columns and the like fancy vintage swirlies and like just how it's styled. It's supposed to be a big mansion. Disney World is supposed to fit into Liberty Square, which is a remake of colonial early America, and the facade of that one more fits into Liberty Square, and it looks more like an eerie kind of colonial mansion, and it's closed off, and there's lots of just trees that are overgrown, and it's very abandoned. Fits in, it really does, and Disney does a good job about that. I really like the style of Disneyland's better. That is it for my list. I think those are my 5 favorite Disney attractions. Rides, I guess. We could go through attractions. We could go through the Tiki Room and all of the shows, and Fantasmic would be number 1, and it's just a spoiler alert for you. Anyways, I'll be done. I'll see you tomorrow. The rest of you, I'll see you next week. Bye! I love Indiana Jones and all of the Easter eggs in Indiana Jones. It's so cool. Come to Disneyland with me. Somebody, please. This is the Hydro Flask I talked about in my last video. It's very good.
Now, to accomplish this, we created a new type of animation. So new that we had to invent a new name for it.
Audio animatronics?
Right, audio animatronic.